Some call it chaos.
We call it family, friends, and life.
We are three best friends thriving with a combination of one fiance,
One wife,
one husband,
8 children, and 5 fur
fur
children. We're here to share our journey through this crazy thing we call chaos. We hope you sit back, enjoy, and follow us on our journey through our day-to-day. This is
Creatures of Chaos with B.
KK.
and Bo.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Here we are,
Yeah,
another episode.
that's right. How is everybody today?
I'm actually awake today for the first Monday in a while.
I cannot
Good.
relate. I'm very tired today.
I feel like we've kind of switched spots a little bit.
Well, it's fine. If my dog would, sleep at night, it wouldn't be an issue. But here we are, zombie Mondays.
Why was he barking so much?
I don't know. Every time Nardo would move in her bed, you can hear it a little bit through the monitor, but normally it doesn't bother him. But last night he was just,
Oh, man.
I was not happy.
My dogs usually only do that if there's like a storm or something.
Even that don't bother him. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now, we watch Paranormal Activity right now, and James would laugh at me if I said this. I think Scout was scared.
I swear, that's what I was just going to say. Maybe he was having nightmares.
I really think so.
I mean, it could happen. I'm sure it could happen.
Yeah, James will probably think I'm crazy, but that's okay.
Dogs feel the vibes, man.
Listen, Ammo is scared of everything. Ammo is scared of aluminum foil, so I believe it.
So is Scout. Oh my god, he's supposed to be a hunt dog. He's afraid of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Ammo literally, if you pull out the aluminum foil and, pull it up to him, he will run away.
If
And
we're
he,
being honest-
will not come near you.
If we're being honest here, I really thought you said Emma at first.
Okay, it's kind of funny because
He's scared of aluminum foil.
so it's Emma Lee.
Yeah.
And then it's Ammo Lee.
Oh, that's confusing.
So when he gets in trouble and I yell Ammo Lee, it sounds like I'm yelling Ammo Lee.
That's funny. They can just both be in trouble. It's fine.
They usually are. I mean, they're usually getting in trouble together,
What?
if we're being honest.
Right?
But just to clarify, it is not Emma who's scared of aluminum foil, it is her dog.
Well,
Yeah,
she could be. We never know. Are you afraid of aluminum oil? Oil? What? So
Yeah.
I need to go to bed.
She is not afraid of aluminum foil, folks.
You never know. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you guys do anything fun over the weekend?
Nope. Not really. Pretty laid back. Didn't do much. Did homework. Woo! Passed my class.
That's good. Good
Yeah.
job.
It's a plus.
Proud of you.
Another one down. A crap ton more to go. Yep.
No, my kids are sick again.
It never stopped.
It never ends. Somebody's always sick.
It's always one of them.
Yeah.
Like you said before, it can never be none of you.
No. It's both twins currently. The one had a fever. The one's fever was a little lower than the other, but they both. And were they any better today? Were they chill? Did they lay around? No, God, no. They were just as naughty as out always.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like last time they were sick, you were sending the same snaps of they're sick, doesn't get them down any.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't stop them from being crazy.
I agree with that. Sickness doesn't stop children, at all.
No.
I wish it didn't stop me.
Yeah. It just makes them naughtier. I mean, they're just as naughty, but they're crabbier.
Yeah.
God, they're like,
It's
I'm going to
annoying.
tear up the house, but I'm going to cry at the same time.
Right.
Listen, I feel that.
Oh, but you know what I did do?
What'd you do?
I finished the book. Hey,
You
look at
finally
finished the book. I did. Hey,
I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
It's been since we read the book.
So long that we had to read it twice?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I just skimmed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
feel attacked.
Probably a month ago at least.
It had been over a month.
But yeah, it's been over a month because I had a hysterectomy a month ago.
Yeah, so it's
That
been
was
over a
before
month.
that. Yeah, it's probably 6 weeks ago.
It normally doesn't take me that long to read a book, but okay, I just got a lot going on, and the fall is just super, super busy.
Yeah,
I will give it to you. You do have a lot going on
you do.
between kids and school and work and home and being a fiance and planning a wedding. You've got a lot going on.
Yeah, you're busy.
Yeah, but I finished it.
You did. Do you want to show it?
I will. But if you were listening to this and you want to read The Butcher and the Wren, this is a spoiler alert. We are warning you now. So if you want to read it before you listen to this, that would be great.
Otherwise, we might ruin some shit for you.
Oh, we're definitely going
But
to.
definitely come back and listen after you've read it.
Yep.
Yes.
It will be here.
This is what we read by Elena Urquhart. She is one of the co-hosts of Morbid, and she did a phenomenal job with this book.
Yes, she did. And if you have not heard of it or you are looking for a new read, definitely pick it up. it's definitely worth it.
I definitely agree with that. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about this book and all of our views on it.
Yes. And we've got some questions, and this is going to be our first trial run of a book club. So,
right. We've never been in one. We're just the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, bear with us.
yes.
Yeah. Please.
That wasn't me this time.
It was probably me. Sorry. But anyways, so let's first talk about how did you guys think the setting and atmosphere of the book affected the mood and tone of the whole book?
I think she did a really good job setting the tone.
I do.
Like using great descriptive words to really make you feel like you're in the bayou.
I agree with that.
So I think that was phenomenal.
I think that, because it's set in Louisiana and it's in the bayou down there, and especially like at night, like that's a very creepy and mysterious place. And I think that definitely helps set the tone given the type of book that it is.
I really like that a lot of thriller books, you find out who the killer is at the end of the book. But in this, you really know who it is at the beginning. It really sets the tone of his mindset throughout the book. You really get more of that, and not just like a surprise, like who done it at the end. It's like you really know and you get to understand.
I agree with
both of their, because it's an alternating perspective. So you get two main characters, Wren and Jeremy. I don't know. I like that. Knowing at the beginning.
I did too.
That's exactly what you open up with is him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like that. How did you guys think that Elena did with generating suspense and tension throughout the book?
I think that, with Wren being a medical examiner and being in that field where she has to deal with victims of serial killers, she was just so dedicated at the beginning. She did such a good job, and she was bound and determined to figure out who it was, and she never gave up. Even with the crazy twist at the end, she just still stayed.
Right. Very, very dedicated.
Yeah.
I guess another thing too is how did they initially draw you in, or what techniques did she use to keep you on the edge?
Again, the alternating perspectives of Jeremy and Wren and the killer, and then the person who's trying to find the killer. I was I'd read one chapter and then I was so excited to hear the other person's perspective of the events.
I agree with that. I feel like going back and forth, it kept you on the edge of your seat. Well, what are they going to do next? Or what's this person going to do next?
Right.
Because it was going back and forth, mainly between the two. Even though there was other characters in the story, they were the main two.
Right. And I really just like the way that the book did start out with Jeremy starting his everyday life.
Yeah.
It was normal. He was just going on everything was hunky-dory, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
Hey, so did the author surprise or shock you with any twists and turns in the plot? And did you see this coming at all?
There were lots of twists and turns.
I agree. She did a great job. I don't think I saw any of them coming personally.
I think once things started to get revealed, there were some inklings, but at the same time, the way that it played out, I didn't see, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I had my suspicions, but it didn't play out exactly how I thought it would.
Right.
If that makes sense. So it still kept me guessing.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is the twist. And some points of the book, Wren is Wren, and that's who she goes by. But then when you go to her past, she was Emily. And so that's why I really just didn't see it coming, is because she changed her name.
And it really makes you feel like it's a completely different character.
I really did. Right. I thought the whole book that it was a completely different character. And then I found out at the end that Wren is Emily, and Wren was a victim of this serial killer, and she got away. And that was insane.
That was the biggest twist. I
apologize for my dog there. I don't know if we'll be able to pick that out.
We'll try. I definitely think that the main twist, I did not see that one coming at all.
No, not at all. And, with how much I do read, it is really nice to read a book that actually surprises you.
Yeah.
And that you don't just see it coming, because after you read so much of a certain genre, it becomes kind of repetitive, and I feel like it's the same with movies. So it is really nice and refreshing for something to actually catch you off guard.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Very nice.
So Wren is the main character. What do you think of her as a character, and do you think that she made any decisions that you didn't agree with?
I don't necessarily think there were any decisions she made that I didn't agree with. But for me, I loved Wren personally because of the firsthand knowledge that she had from Elena herself being an autopsy technician. It gave that actual like firsthand real knowledge that just made the book that much more tangible.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's at the end when Wren went into Jeremy's house and then she realized it was in fact, Jeremy, what am I trying to say? She definitely realized that it was him. You, Miss Ma'am, get out of the house. Leave that to a detective. Leave it to the police officer to go get him. You know what this person has done to you in the past. Get yourself out of that house. It was so, those like horror movies when they're like,
don't go in the basement.
What was that sound in the basement? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Go down there. Are you insane?
But I mean, if you really think about it, though, I really feel like I would do the same. I mean, I would want that revenge.
Morbid curiosity. I totally get that. And like wanting to be there for it.
Yeah.
Firsthand see that he's going to get some kind of justice.
Yeah.
But girl, for your own safety, get out of the house.
I see both. Like, if that were me, hell no. I would not. Let me just walk back into my past of trauma. I would not do that. But at the same time, I think she wanted that closure.
That's what I was going to say. I would definitely walk into that because you need that closure.
Right. I can get closure from across the police station when they're either in bars or dead.
Right. You can get that closure safely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I definitely would.
Exactly. Like, show me the body.
Right.
After you've killed him.
I agree.
Threes and cups or something at least. But like, good Lord, you don't have to be there for it. Jesus.
So speaking on him being, who he is and her trying to come face to face with him, how do you think the author portrayed him? And did you understand his motives and methods? And do you think he had any redeeming qualities or any human emotions?
No, he's a sick, twisted piece of shit.
There was nothing good about him. He pretended to be good. He pretended to be a friend. He pretended. But real Jeremy was not a good person. He was evil just to be evil.
Yes.
And he loved it. And that's insane. And there was nothing good about him.
He was very, very narcissistic. Sociopath.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, my gosh, this guy's a narcissist.
1,000%.
Oh.
And I think that definitely shows through too with Alina doing the podcast and how much they research serial killers, because their podcast is all about serial killers and, murders and unsolved mystery, like unsolved murders, like all of those things, whatever. So they're constantly researching that genre. And so like, I feel like it just helped that much more put her into the mind of a serial killer.
Yeah.
To help write him.
I agree with that. But either way, he's a monster. He's a piece of shit. He doesn't need to live.
Who was it? Did we find out who that was? I don't remember. It's been a while. Who was it? They were like at a festival of some sort and there was like a concert and there was a body underneath the stage.
Right.
Who was that?
I don't remember if they actually
I don't think they revealed who that was. But then when they went to the cemetery,
because that was the big thing.
Yes. And the girl that was still alive when they opened the casket, that's what their main focus was.
Right.
But I think they had to throw in the one at the festival under the stage to lead up. Yeah, to set up to the...
Okay. Yeah. And she was alive, but barely, correct?
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
The one under?
No.
The one that they dug up.
Yeah. The one that they dug
she
up.
was alive. She had a pulse.
Yeah.
But barely.
She was the one that like eventually told the detectives who he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, she didn't tell them it was the bracelet. She was wearing the bracelet and that's how they knew.
But it was still through her.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just didn't physically.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all, it's been a while.
Not for me. I finished it today, fresh in my mind.
Good thing one of us has got it fresh. I got half of it fresh because I listened to the first half this morning when I was cleaning. So,
yeah.
Okay, where are we at now?
Number 6.
Is that me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How did the author use different perspectives or narrators to tell the story? We've mentioned this already, but the back and forth of the alternating perspective, like every other chapter, is Jeremy's viewpoint and Wren's viewpoint. I really like that. I love that in books. That's my favorite.
I do really like that, but I can also really hate that at the same time.
Okay.
Because if it's not done well, it can be super confusing.
Yes.
Right.
Or on the other hand, it can reveal way too much, way too soon.
Right.
Yeah.
So I really like how she still kept everything under wraps and everything still kind of like, you were still caught off guard by the twist, even though you had the double perspective.
Right. Without making it confusing like timelines and
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I have read books where there's only two perspectives and it's so confusing because it's not done well.
Right.
So she did really well with that, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think she did a phenomenal job with it. But I also think, even though those are the main two perspectives, I feel like you got a little bit of LaRue's perspective in there too, as, you know, the detective. And I think she portrayed that well, even though it was very
A secondary character.
subtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think you were able to detect that.
He
in
was very
Wren's
good.
side.
He was a very good supporting character.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
He's the detective that's really close to Wren, like friendship wise. He's very protective of her. He cares about her, but it's not a romantic relationship. And you don't
No.
see that very often either, is like someone of the opposite sex being friendly and really caring about
Right.
you. That's typically put in as like suddenly they're romantic, but
Yeah.
they haven't been. And I like that.
I agree.
That is very nice to see a very platonic relationship between a hetero coupling.
Right.
You know,
I agree. So how do you think that Elena balanced the action and, you know, or the violence with the psychological and the emotional aspects of the book?
honestly, we keep talking about it, but I think it was that double perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think with Jeremy, you get more of the psychological side of things. And then with Wren, you get more of the emotional side. But then you also see a little more of the violent side because you get the telling of what happened to the body.
Right.
Mhm. So you get the violence with each perspective.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot
guess-
emotional with Wren's perspective.
Yeah. I mean, there is a little bit of emotion with Jeremy's perspective. It's just a twisted emotion, which, you know, it's more of that psychological, but
Or him
I feel like his is the lack of emotion.
Yeah. Lack of emotion, and then
Because he feels things, but it's not a normal emotion.
right. He feels happy to hurt people. He gets a thrill.
Right. I wouldn't necessarily say it's happy, but he feels
He's happy.
something.
he's very driven to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something that like he has to do.
Because I think with that it's the lack of feeling, and so something that extreme gives them a feeling, a sense of feeling something, and so then
I just remember a part in the book where he's explaining the hunt and Katie and Emily are running through there. And I remember him saying that he was standing there smiling at them.
Yep.
And that's why I'm like, oh, he's happy about this.
he definitely gets
Enjoying this chase.
the thrill and the excitement out of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I can imagine like being like essentially like kidnapped and then being turned loose and you're being hunted.
Right.
That is
Mhm.
that is insane. There's another book similar to that in the same being hunted that I've read. Is it The Frozen Ground, I think? Have you guys heard of that one?
Mm.
No.
That one's really good too. Maybe we'll do that one next. But yeah, that was an interesting, it creeped me out a lot. It's scary to think about.
Sounds like a good.
Sounds like it's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would like it.
Anyways, where are we at now?
How did the author, so Elena, how did she explore themes such as justice, morality, revenge, loyalty, or survival?
I'm going to say with revenge, Wren did not get her revenge, but I feel like Jeremy had a taste of revenge only because 7 years prior to this whole, you know, investigation that they're doing, that's when Emily was a victim and he held on for 7 years. And he slowly tortured her with certain subtle things like her business card and her bracelet and the ring. And like it's not like a full on revenge, but I think it's a taste of revenge where he's like, she knows I'm still here.
Yeah, I could see that.
Survival, I think Wren's way of kind of surviving and getting past the torture was changing her identity. And so that's a kind of a way that she, not like literal survival is not, I mean, but that's kind of the way that she was getting past it, was she changed her identity. And that was,
Yeah.
Well, and I think even touching on survival during the chase,
Yeah.
when he's hunting them,
yeah.
she definitely shows whether she's fight, flight, or freeze, you know, and it talks about that and how he thinks she's going to be one way and she turns out to be another.
Yep.
And how she's forced to use, you know, the other girl to survive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I think it even shows, like, it touches on multiple aspects of survival, I think. But I also think it's kind of setting it up to hopefully give Wren her justice or her revenge in the next book.
I hope it is too. I really do. And I mean, there's also a lot of survival too with the victims that he's explaining, whether they're surviving in their cages or whether they're surviving out in the woods where he's hunting them. I mean, it's just all these different things that they're supposed to be doing. And unfortunately, a lot of them fail.
Yeah. but their fight until then is still survival.
Right. Especially Emily's.
Oh, yeah.
Especially hers.
Yeah.
All right. It's you, Miss May, last one.
Were you satisfied with the book's outcome? And did you have any questions or were there doubts left unanswered? Well, the obvious is the huge cliffhanger.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Again, Jeremy gets away.
Weird.
Listen, I finished the Audible and I was like, I took my headphone out and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. That was the end.
Yeah.
But it was so good. She just led up to it so well.
She did. But those are the good ones where it's like, you get pissed because it's the end. You don't want it to end.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just keeps your mind going and going.
Yeah.
I 100% love the twist of this book. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And then the cliffhanger, didn't see that coming either.
He used, correct me if I'm wrong, he used, was it one of his victims as a decoy?
Yeah.
To get away. I mean, they thought they had him. They thought they shot him and they killed him and they went to go see, look at his body and it was another victim that he had. And that was, I didn't see that coming either.
No, he definitely played that one out very well. I'm sure he didn't plan on getting shot, but tough shit. Don't be a dick. Moral of the story.
Don't be a dick and you won't get shot.
That was not a threat. That was not a threat. But anyways, I mean, that's really all the questions that we have. But if you have not read it, I definitely would recommend reading it, because just as talking about it, yes, there were things that we spoiled, but there's still so much more within the book that you would just absolutely love.
And honestly, read it again. If you haven't read it in a minute, read it again, because it is just as good the second time, just as good.
Well, no,
it'll take a whole nother year to read it.
That's not true, because we're going to do another book.
We are.
It's sequel, the next one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called, what, the Butcher Game?
The Butcher Game.
Yeah. No, we're going to read that one.
Yes.
So if you want to follow along in our book club, get that book. Join us for that.
Do you guys think that'll be the end of it? Do you think that we'll get justice in that book? Or do you think that it's going to be like even more books after this and maybe we don't see Jeremy get,
it's probably going to be a whole series.
Yeah, it could be.
Of Wren.
But also, even with The Butcher and the Wren, like if you give us your feedback, tell us your perspectives and what you loved and hated about the book. And
what was your favorite thing about the book? What was your absolute favorite thing about the book? And what did you wish was better about the book? I want your both perspectives.
My favorite thing was the twist. That was my absolute favorite thing.
Yeah.
What did I hate about the book?
Well, not hate.
The things that I would have done differently with the book. Not put Wren in the house.
Yeah.
Like,
that's insane.
And I think that's just from a me mental perspective.
Right.
But at the same time, it's so good and I understand it. But that's what I would have changed.
Yeah.
What about you, Bo?
Well, yeah, that's probably it. I truly, what do you?
Don't go in the house.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Don't go in the house. Why is it always in, scary movies and books, people fall down all the time? I would be screwed.
Yeah, you would be.
I would. I'd just lay in the fetal position.
I hear that, man. If there's ever, being hunted or something, I'm like, well, this is it. Do your thing, because I ain't going to get away.
Nope, I ain't got time for this.
All right. What about you guys at home? Let us know what your thoughts were on the book and let us know if you'll be reading along with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love a book club.
Yes, we do. Until next time.
See you.
Although we call it chaos, it's what we thrive in best.
Until we meet again, chaos creatures.
Stay you, stay true, and embrace the chaos.